Good afternoon. It's November 21st, 2024, and today you could call it a range day. I think on the daily chart it looks like a bull bar, but we're still within this sell-off, so uh doesn't look very convincing, but I mean this is clearly a bull market, so um, you know, I'm kind of skeptical of this if you draw the trend line like that, but let's see. That makes it look like we got to overshoot. And it could just be this is a spike in channel. That's us bouncing off the midline. Who really knows? Basically, on the daily chart, it's a bull bar. But let's take a look. Quite a bit of volume today. Uh, we had this move up in the overnight, and then we sold off and uh, tested this low, and then we bounced and we made a new high. So I thought maybe this sell off here, we were trying to make a measured move up, but that failed. Uh, so let's see. In the overnight, this looks like the channel, and you get a pullback right at like 5 o'clock is when we're testing this EMA. So I like this higher low right here, at least for a scalp. And maybe you just put uh, your target at a new high. I like that idea. And then we start to flatten out. We get a gap below the EMA, and then you get this big bear bar. So I mean, could you take this? Yeah, you could look at this as what Al Brooks calls a head and shoulders top. Head right here, left shoulder, right shoulder. Um, and we just got a gap below the EMA. So, you know, there is signs like we had this strong move up. You have an overshoot, it leads to a break. You got to move to a new high. But the EMA looked like it was still kind of influencing prices. So you could enter there, but you should not be going for a scalp if you enter there. That turns out to be a really good move. You get a break, a new low, you get a double bottom here. Could you enter here on this second entry short? Yes, you could. And I think that's pretty reasonable since we didn't really test that low very clearly yet. But it bounces, and you do get a failure right here. I think that's reasonable, and it ends up being a pretty good move. And then we get a failure to this side. Is this reasonable? Yeah, I think you could consider this one too. We test the EMA here, test it here, and this is a spike in channel, it looks like. And we come up shy of the support line and we bounce out, and you do get a failed second entry short right there. You could consider this one. Um, there isn't a new low in place, so you might be a little skeptical. Uh, not because of that. Maybe it's not the greatest entry, but we're finding support right here, so that's reason to like it. The bottom out here, I don't really see anything I like in here. And if you want to be aggressive in this move up, perhaps you could, but I don't see any great entry. And then we get a break and we get like two legs down. So when we broke higher, I thought maybe, we were going for the measured move, and that brings you towards the opening price. So you could consider that as a target, but we don't really get any good setups. Could you take this second entry short? Yeah, you could, because it looks like we're in a range, and it looks like you could probably get a second leg down right there. So, excuse me, you could take that, I think. There's a double bottom here if you want to be really aggressive. Take that. It turns out to be a good move. I like this reversal, to be honest, because it looks like it's responding to the EMA at that point. Turns out to be a good move. This is a second entry long right there. I mean, you're chopping down. So maybe you buy with a limit order there because this looks like a channel, a bear channel. Um, but I think that's reasonable since we pretty, we're at the highs, so I guess that's makes it more aggressive. But we made a new high, and that's right at the EMA, so you might consider that. I like this one, second entry long. But now it looks like we're flattening out, and you just got to be careful. And I think you just should sit out after that in this range. So anyway, um, that's it. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.